Welcome to Doron Yoga, everyone. Today we're going to look at Half Camel, Ardha Ustrasana. It's a lovely pose that's actually pretty intense, sometimes even more than the regular one, but really helps prepare for going deeper in back bends, for stretching the side of the body, the shoulders. It's really fantastic. Highly recommended as long as you do it correctly, safely, so you'll keep a sustainable practice. That's our mantra here. So Kasha will help us today demonstrate, and we'll look first at how to, so watch, and then we'll try and practice it together. Okay? So we'll come up to be on the knees, lifting the hips up. Just like in Camel Pose, we have the knees about hip width apart. If it's really intense for you, go a little wider, not much wider. All along, we're going to try and keep the hips moving forward and the sternum, the chest, lifting up. This is super crucial because if we right away collapse back, this is one way of collapsing. Hopefully you won't do this one, but even if you collapse back here, right away fall, you're going into L4-5. You're going right away into the lower back, and it's pinching rather than opening. We're looking to really raise up, exactly, lift up, and even though you're going to feel like you're moving back, you're going to try and maintain this. I always pretend like there's a cable here hooking up to the zipper, to the sternum, and lifting you up constantly to maintain the length, okay? This is true for Ustrasana as well as for this one, for the half. Really, really important, okay? So knees about hip width, and by the way, it happens to me all the time. I think it happened to Kasha too. When we go a little deeper into the pose, the knees will slide a bit wider. Okay, don't worry about it. Let it happen, because that's just a way for you to protect the spine when you're going really deep. It's perfectly fine, okay? So we're starting at least like this. We'll keep both hands on the hips. One last time before we add the arm positions. Lifting up the chest, hips a bit forward, leaning back, and then optional, you'll either keep the chin or you'll release the head back. To come up, you're going to inhale, hips forward, chest, head last, and either take child's pose or we'll do the other side. Got it? Nice. So we're going to go now to the arm position. We'll start with right arm lifting up. The left hand will stay on the hip. And so just like we were doing before, we're lifting up tall, 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 and we're starting to go back. Except as we go back, we're going to twist a bit. You can see the right hip is moving forward. The chest is still lifting. There's a deep back bend happening and a twist. The whole side of the body here is getting such a juicy, yummy stretch. And then the hand is going across and over. Nice. Inhale, come up. Let's look at it one more time. Same thing from the other side. So, here we go. Lifting up, left arm up, and then going back. Again, the length of the spine, the hip moving forward, a bit across and over. The hand is not just going straight back, and then lifting up. And if you need a quick break, take a quick break. No need a break. Okay, so we'll go right ahead. So now we know what happens with the hips, the chest, and the arm. What happens with the other arm? Let's look at that. We'll go again, right arm up, lifting the chest, starting to lean back. Option one we've seen. The left hand remains on the hips. Perfectly good option. It's a bit less intense because you're already twisting and going back bend, but you're not going far back. In case that's easy for you, we tuck the toes under, as Kasha is demonstrating, and we try and reach the left hand, in this case, over to the heel. If it doesn't reach or you're feeling like you cannot breathe, back off, come back to the hip and stay there. If this still feels yummy and you feel, oh, I have a little more room to play, untuck the toes. And obviously, you've just gone another few centimeters or inches down. And then you have to work on the hip moving forward, the chest lifting, and this is the full pose. To come out, again, hips forward, chest, and release. We'll look at it one last time on the other side. So, here we go. The hand is on the hip, the other hand up. Chest lifts, toes are tucked under. Starting to move back, hand stays on the hip. That's option one. Option 2, toes tucked under. And option 3, untuck the toes, and down. Chest keeps on lifting. Come out and release. Cool. We'll do this together. So we're going to now practice this right side, left side, and you'll have to try the arm positions according to what's right for you. Okay? So come on to your mats. Slowly coming up, lifting onto your knees. Hips are up. Left hand starting on the hip. Feel the hips moving a bit forward, chest lifting, right arm up. Start to go back. Take the hand wherever it feels right. Hip, toes under, or toes untucked. And then push your right hip forward. Right hand over towards the left side. Chest lifts up. And if available, let the head release back. Stay here for a few breaths. Inhale, slowly coming out of the pose. Take a breath here. And we're going to take the second side. Once more, hand on the hip or toes tucked under. Left arm up. Hips forward, chest up. Reach with your right hand if it's going down. Left hand goes over, a bit across. Left hip moves forward. Head maybe releases back. And remember to breathe. Slowly coming out, release. Let's all take a wide knee child's pose. Take your knees wide apart. Release the head down. You can have the arms either forward or alongside the body. See what feels good for you. Cool. That's it, folks. When you're ready, you can come up to sit. You can stay there and just listen to me. I want to say thank you. I really recommend doing this. If you're doing deep back bends, you can always do it as a preparation. Please don't do this as a standalone pose. It's really important that you do it as part of your practice, or at least do some warm-up. Your spine needs to be warmed up with some hip movement, with some other stuff. But once you're warmed up, this is really a wonderful pose. For those of you working on Kapotasana, or even just your regular full Urdhva Dhanurasana, it's a really amazing pose to open up the whole upper body, lower back, shoulders. So practice often. Let us know what you thought. Hopefully this is useful. So useful that you can't wait to share it on all your social media and with your friends. And until we see you either on YouTube or here at the Doron Yoga and Zen Center in live practice and training, I thank you all. Namaste.